more than a hill. It was kind of a ridge, kind of a long ridge, and it was just a perfect situation for the enemy to set up a defense. Like I say, we paid very dearly. The second time we attacked it, we almost took it, but we were taking so many casualties that they had us to withdraw back to a little offset from the ground where we could take cover there. We had almost took this single 192, but we were taking so many casualties that they gave us orders to withdraw back to our old position. And the order was that it would be every man for himself. That if our buddy got hit by us, we couldn't stop and help him, that he would have to lay there either dead or wounded, and that after we all had been withdrawn, then the medics would come in and try to get those that were wounded out first, where they could get aid. And anyway, this Eddie Feedock, he was just, we were running as hard as we could. We were going about a 30-degree slope. And anyway, the Germans were shooting at us with rifle fire and machine gun. And all of a sudden I heard a deep groan, and I looked back, and Eddie was hitting the ground. And it was fatal right there. And I couldn't stop or do anything, because it had been, they would have got me then. And the strategy, it doesn't sound like it was right, but I've thought about it through the years, and it was the best strategy to keep going, not to help your buddy, and which was the thing that come to my mind through the years, that we have an order like that. And anyway, there was a little creek down there at the bottom of the hill, and we all jumped in the creek and crouched down, and their fire was going over our heads there. They couldn't hit us. We were covered pretty good. But we went downstream probably 100 yards, and the squad leader said, "We've got to get over on the other side." But there was a steep bank that we were gonna have to climb to get up out of their firing range. And as we started climbing up the bank, the Germans opened up on us. But luckily, in my squad, none of us were hit. My squad leader had a close call. One of the bullets hit him right here about in the belly and just kind of opened it up a little bit where he bled. And we had to kind of make a U to get back to our old positions. And we had to go through our mortar section to do that. And as we went through the mortar section, it looked like every one of them had been killed. And this one GI, he was laying in his slip trench. Kid from Pennsylvania, his name was Eddie Berminski. I can still, isn't it amazing how I can still remember these names? And I hollered at him, I said, let's pull this guy out and see who it is. And when we did, we rolled him over. And he was my very best buddy. And he was from Homestead, Pennsylvania. And his name was Charles Ewing. Of course, he didn't suffer because the shell, and I'm sure it was a German mortar shell, fell right in the hole with him. And I would say it probably went through his stomach and exploded. And as we pulled him out, I noticed that his body was like a sponge, like every bone in his body was broke. And whenever I recognized who it was, I got off the ground and I walked over to my old foxhole, or slit trench really, and I got in there and I cried. He liked his beer, and he'd go out drinking, and there at Fort Sam Houston, he had the second cot just over me. And a couple of times he come in, had drank too much, and he fell out of his bunk onto that old hard floor. The last time he broke his nose. From then on, when he'd come in, he wouldn't ask me to get up out of my bunk and let him have it. He would just try to lay down by me, and he'd keep hitting me with his elbow until I'd get up in his bunk. And he, just before we went overseas, he got a 30-day furlough. And while he was on furlough, he married his school sweetheart. And, by the way, whenever I got back to my old slit trench, the Germans had shelled the rear echelon terribly. And one of those shells hit directly on top of the hedgerow, just right over my slit trench. Had I been in the hole, the concussion would have killed me. There's another time that the Almighty God had his hand on it.
Amen. Amen.
Anyway, we finally took that hill at a very high cost. We attacked it 5 times. The last time we had so much support that I don't see how there could have been a German alive on that hill. We had fighter planes strafing and dive bombing. We had 2 Sherman tanks attached to each platoon. We had approximately 35 battalions of artillery. So we pulverized that town, that hill. And, but overall, we paid very dearly to get that hill, and it was the highest point in that part of the country. In fact, they had observation to see the beach. But after we took Hill 192, it was one more hill and one more stream nearly every day.